And we're going to talk to Casey Marie. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
And you're from the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries in Tobago?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about this free plant diagnosis clinic. What is this plant diagnosis about?
Okay, so the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries, under their Plant Protection Department, we have a facility called Plant Clinic or Plant Clinic Mondays, where every Monday we offer a free diagnostic facility at our office in Glen Road.
Right. But what does the diagnosis entail? What do you look for? How do you go about doing a diagnosis on a plant?
Well, let me explain. Essentially, a plant clinic is a meeting between a grower who may be a farmer or home gardener or any person who has a plant in their yard that may have a pest or disease issue. They would meet with a plant diagnostic officer, which might be myself or any other trained officer. And there they will bring the sample. Once the sample shows signs or symptoms of insect feeding, disease symptoms, we diagnose the problem on spot and give them the appropriate treatment.
Oh, this is so how old does the plant have to be for you to do a diagnosis?
It doesn't matter.
So you could go.
It doesn't matter what age.
But what do you look for?
Well, if you're looking for spots, strange lesions on your leaves, symptoms like falling fruits, signs of insect damage, holes, trails, those types of things.
And you're a specialist officer, plant protection unit.
Yes, I'm the specialist officer, plant protection.
Yeah, so what exactly does that entail, that job specification?
Okay, so I am the support service for the extension department, and also we serve the entire island of Tobago. And what we essentially do is diagnose all plant health problems and determine what is the best mode of management or treatment for those crops.
Why is this important though?
It's very important because it affects food security. Yes.
And we were talking about food security this morning and the importance of food security. So this plant diagnosis clinic, which is free, when is it taking place and what can people expect? How do people get involved in it if they want to?
Okay, so you come to the office between the hours of 9 to 12 every Monday. Every Monday, once it's not a public holiday, we are there to provide the service for you.
And what do people have to work with? Anything in particular?
You work with your sick plant samples.
But do you also go out into the field and do tests on plants if people have a complaint?
Of course, we have follow-up visits. Depending on the severity of the problem or the age of the crop, we determine if a follow-up visit is necessary. And we have follow-ups with extension staff and myself as well.
What type of diseases do you see on plants very often in Tobago?
Well, generally in Tobago, this particular time of year, we have more issues with scale insects, aphids, mites, that type of thing. We don't have much fungal issues because, of course, it's more dry. In the rainy season, however, we start to see more bacterial infections and fungal issues.
So how do you deal with these insects?
Well, there's a myriad of treatments, but however, at the division, we recommend an IPM management strategy. That is where the farmer utilizes cultural practices, biological measures where necessary, and we implement insecticidal use as a last resort.
Okay, why as a last resort? Why not just try that first?
Because, of course, you want to ensure that you go with the most natural means of production for health reasons.
And so people can come down to the office of the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries 9 to 12 and get more information,
Monday.
Work with their plants?
Yes.
Do they have to make appointments? Or you can just walk in?
Yes, it's a walk-in facility.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, Casey Marie, for joining us this morning, giving us that vital bit of information. It was an absolute pleasure having you all with us this morning. Lisa, again, we go back to food security and the need for food security.